Okay, I want to talk about this scene really quick and Jinwoo against Icarus because it is one of the most impactful scenes in my entire life that I've been analyzing and thinking about over the past couple of months, subconsciously more than consciously. But basically, like, I want to talk about this because what we see in this scene right here is like Jinwoo, he's being overwhelmed by the power of Icarus. Even when we go back to like when he just first opens the doors, he knows that how bad is it going to be on the other side of this door? The door is massive. I was thinking about this. I saw this in a meditation that I ended up doing. And I just envisioned myself like staying outside of this door. And it's like, I don't want to go in. But it's like, I can't go back. Just as Jinwoo says, he's like, I can't go back. Like, whatever it is, if I can't get out of here without getting through, I just have to press on. And that's how I look at my life now. And how I'm hoping you are starting to look at your life is whatever situation, whatever trial, whatever tribulation that you're in, whatever enemy may be on the other side of this big, massive door, you do have the strength to overcome it. You do have the strength to face off against it. You do have more than you know what you did. Like when Jinwoo originally first entered the double dungeon, he didn't have any skills. He didn't have any training. But like where you are at right now and where I am at right now, you and I, we've both grown. We've both evolved. We've both come to new places that we never expected to be in. And yet it's just like, he says name's red too. He really is nothing like the enemies I fought so far. Yet what is so impactful for me and what is so impressive is like even though he's never fought these enemies and Jinwoo's face is completely in shock of like, well, crud, he just chopped those pillars like they were branches. He's getting beaten up, he's getting bashed against the wall. He's like, this guy's way stronger than I thought he was. There's no way that I'm going to be able to win. It's just like, what a monster. He tries everything. He realizes that his dagger's no good to be able to face off against this enemy. But the thing about this is like he doesn't give up. He thinks about different angles. He's like, okay, I have to beat this guy, but how can I do it? And he's just like, okay, well, I can't do it with weapons, so screw it. I'm going to go barehanded, bare knuckle boxing right here. And I'm like, that's what's up. Like, you got to think outside of the box. You got to use your strengths and your skills. Icarus is like, what is this dude doing? It's just like, really? You're going to square off against me? And he's like, all right, bet, let's go. So he takes off all of his knives and his weapons and his daggers. He's like, all right, yeah, sure, it's just being chivalrous. But it's like, that's not what it is by any means. And that's why, like, continuing back into the battle, it's like, Igris still, even at this point, is still so fast and dominant and just like the destroyer of Jinwoo. And it's just like crud. And this is probably what you felt like. I know I felt like this in my own life, like with certain aspects, my own psyche, with my own struggles and going on bike rides. It's like there's always a stronger person. There's always a stronger element. There's always somebody that's going to be stronger than you, that's going to be trying to pulverize you, that's going to try to test your strength, that's going to, in the process, make you stronger. Which this is the part that I want you to understand is like when you do go into these dungeons, when you do go into these battles, when you do go into anything that is a little bit challenging or difficult for you, the great part about this is you do get stronger with each fight that you go in. Sure, you're going to have to take some hits, and you're going to have to take some damage, and you're going to have to take those downfalls, but it's like you have to do that in order to evolve, in order to grow. Like suffering doesn't happen and growth doesn't happen without the ease of discomfort. It's one of those things like if say you're a tree and you're breaking out of a seed or something like that, the seed's not just going to magically like just break open. Like the roots have to like push out of that said thing. It's the same thing when women give birth or when a chicken hatches out of the egg. Like it has to peck its way out and it's suffering. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of us seem to forget a lot of the time. And that's why I've also just side note this animation for this is absolutely insane. And this is the part where Jinwoo, as soon as he kicks Igris in the head, and this is where I say like there's always a creative solution for anything that you do, because as soon as he kicks Igris in the head and he sees that, oh wait, where does the eyes go? That's what gave him the idea of like, oh, okay, I can win this. He didn't necessarily know how to, but he knew that he had to at least get close. And sure, like when he found this out, he just gets pulverized like no other. It's just like, you know, over and over and over again. But like, he doesn't mind because he was waiting for his opportunity. He knew what he had to do, just as all of us do. Like, he's on the throne, he's waiting, like, sure, he is going to be the king, obviously. We know that. At least I know that. You probably know that as well, too. But then, like, we go into this scene where it's just like, and this is the part that I really want to drive home for you. So he's about to be taken out, as you can see. Igris swings his blade, but Jinwoo, he's like, no. You really think I'm done? You think I'm done? Really? He's like, I'm not done yet. Which this part, bro, like this is what I want you to understand is regardless of how much the odds stacked against you, and maybe you associate yourself and why I love anime so much as well too, and just cartoons in general and movies, is because they show us our true strength. They show us what we're truly capable of doing and the willpower that the human has if we are determined to survive and defeat the enemy that stands within us, regardless of how much the odds are stacked against us. And I just love that every single moment of it. It's just like you have to do the thing that is so hard and almost seems impossible to you. But if you do it, then you are bound to reap those rewards, because as soon as Jinwoo ends up taking out Icarus, he's like, oh, okay, is it done? I won. And it's just like, yeah. And at that point, it's basically a done deal. He says it was a fluke, but it's also like it wasn't really a fluke. He just did the thing that he needed to do to be able to beat the enemy. And this is what you have to do as well too. Think outside of the box, become creative, like look at things in different ways. And then from there you will get rewards. You will get the stats that will boost your intelligence or boost your strength or boost your skills in one way, shape, or form. And if not, you'll at least be proud of the person that you're able to become in the process. And that's the main point, is like use your strengths, put yourself in these uncomfortable situations, face off against enemies that are just a little bit stronger than you, that are going to challenge you, because otherwise you're never going to grow.